Joining us now is Republican Marsha Blackburn, who prefers to be called Congressman. How are you today, Congressman?
I'm well.
All right. So we have this 4-page proposal that Republicans are behind, or some Republicans on the Hill are behind. Are you on board with the proposal?
Well, you know, I'm one of those Republicans I'm going to be waiting to see what the details are. And bear in mind also, we've had a working group in the House, and they will probably bring their proposals out next week or so, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. There are many of us that have said for years this needs to be fixed. We want to make certain there's no preferential treatment. I want to make certain that people are in the queue, have the opportunity to complete their process. So let's see what continues to come out from these groups. The good thing is people are saying, let's get this problem solved. And I like the fact that it's gone from being a back burner issue to a front burner issue.
Well, and Congressman, some details are leaking out of that House working group and that bipartisan group of senators that we just heard from as they pertain to red lines and sort of must-haves. Democrats have said their must-have is a legal pathway to citizenship. What are your personal must-haves or your red lines in any immigration bill that you'll consider? What do you need to see in there to give it a yes vote?
Yes, and you know, back in '03, Jim Sensenbrenner, who was chairman of Judiciary at that time, came out with some great guidelines, and there were many of us that supported those. First of all, making certain that you do secure that border, and whether it is for drug trafficking, illegal entry, sex trafficking, weapons, you want to make certain that that border is secured. That is an issue that has to be solved. Number two, you don't want amnesty. You can go back and look over the past several decades. The different amnesty proposals that are there have not worked. It doesn't matter who was in the White House. And so we don't want to get back on that path, because that would be repeating a mistake that has been made. So let's make certain that there is not an amnesty. Third, you want to make certain that those who are in the country, that there is a way that they are paying and righting those wrongs. I don't know exactly what the proposals will be for bringing that forward, but I know that's important. The next thing, you want to make certain that you address your quotas, and finally, you have to make certain that ICE is going to clean up their act, and that the Immigration Service is going to finally be a service that works. We all appreciate legal immigration. We want to encourage legal immigration and bring those individuals that want to come to America to seek a better life. We want to make certain that they have the ability to be here legally, that it is an expeditious manner. Now, also, a piece of legislation I've had for several years, the CLEAR Act, would give our local law enforcement the tools that they need to address the criminal alien population that is in our country, and I hope we will make certain that they have the tools that they need.
Congressman, you just mentioned that one of your principles is no amnesty. How exactly do you define amnesty?
You know, amnesty is allowing people who came in the country to stay in the country, not asking them to make that situation right, not asking them to pay those back taxes. I think that what we need to do is very carefully look at what this pathway is going to be. We have to make certain that there is not going to be an amnesty that encourages more amnesty, and whether it was Reagan or others, what we have seen is amnesty proposals that did not accomplish what they were supposed to accomplish. So let's learn from all those lessons, and let's do it right this time.
So, Congressman, you were on Face the Nation over the weekend and asked to comment on what the Republican Party did wrong in 2012. Let's take a listen.
I think that the thing that we did not do well was to penetrate the marketplace with our message. We didn't have a broad enough basis using social media, using all the different media formats that are there.
So looking at the support for Republicans in the past 3 presidential elections, you can see the support among Latino voters declining, really plummeting from 2004 at 40% down to 27% in 2012. Is it really just a PR problem? There needs to be more social networking, more tweets, or is there a more basic fundamental policy problem here?
It's interesting to me when you are in a small group and you talk about our message, which is focused on opportunity and growth and equality of that opportunity for everybody. Individuals just gravitate to that message because that is what they want. They want the ability and the opportunity to make their American dreams come true. Sometimes our message is, if we could get it through, it's the right message. Maybe it's sometimes our messengers aren't as good. Sometimes I think that we're not as persistent as we need to be in repeating that message. I hope that what we're going to do is to pay more attention to our tone, to how we say, how we talk, and that we change grand old party to the great opportunity party, the government of the people party, the growth and opportunity party, and put the emphasis on the positive things that we, as a party, have always believed and stood for.
You know, Congressman, I guess the expectation, and we'll see what happens in the House. We'll see if there's a repeat of 2007 where there's this conservative revolt that upends everything. But I think that the general expectation in Washington is that something is going to get done this year on immigration reform. I guess my question is, looking ahead for your party, do you think you need to do more to avoid, I guess what I'm thinking of here is a historical parallel with what happened with the Republican Party and the black vote after the Republican Party nominated an anti-civil rights candidate, Barry Goldwater, in 1964, and since then has not cracked 20% with the black vote, going on 50 years. I'm wondering if just now, finally, after all these years, maybe getting on board with an immigration reform proposal, do you think that's going to get you anywhere beyond where you are right now with the Latino vote, or has that ship sailed?
You know, I hope that it does. I have to tell you, actions, I think people are waiting to see what we do. And my hope is that we are going to meet the expectations that people have of us, that this is a problem that we will solve. The American people are interested in solutions. They are just, they're so tired, as am I, of this kicking the can down the road and not having adult conversations, if you will, about some of these issues, whether it's immigration, whether it is the out-of-control federal spending, whether it is the escalating rate of debt in this country, whether it is the fact that we have a health care system that is going to have some attention, and the immigration issue will become linked to the health care system via some of the parameters there with Obamacare. This is a time to be very honest with the American people, just to say this is where we are, these are the facts, and help us work this through to a solution. And I have to tell you, I certainly hope that we do.
All right, Congressman Blackburn, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, the interview that's all the talk of the political world today, not the one we just had, but the one we're going to have that we had last night. And what did the odd man out think about it? It's in the spin cycle. As the cycle rolls on, it's Monday, January 28th.
In the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days